watching Coin 6 News with Emily Burris and Travis Tyke. Watching out for you.
Welcome back. We're digging deeper into Oregon history this morning. You might think it's mostly roses and rivers, but there's a lot more to it.
Absolutely. And Kohr took a tour of a new exhibit at the Oregon Historical Society that explores the remarkable history of the Rose City.
All right, the name of the exhibit, new exhibit at the Oregon Historical Society, is Rivers, Roses, and Rip City. And here this morning to tell us a little bit more about that is Carrie Timchuk, who's the executive director of the Oregon Historical Society. Boy, what a rich, we walk through the aisles here. First of all, you realize what a rich history of a place we come from, right?
Oh, a very rich history. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to do this, was because people were asking for it.
Yeah.
When tourists came to town in the summer, they're saying, hey, I want to know more about Portland.
Let's get started first of all with one of the most iconic things I remember growing up as a child. This is Bud Clark's raincoat in the famous picture, Expose Yourself to Art.
Exactly. Bud Clark was, of course, a restaurateur, a tavern keeper, ran for mayor, and nobody, and I mean nobody, thought he would ever win.
Right.
He did. Served 2 terms as mayor, and what made him famous before mayor was the poster.
Right, and he's standing there exposing himself to a statue, flashing a statue.
With the tagline, "Expose yourself to art."
It's a classic.
That's the jacket he was wearing.
That's what helped make Portland weird in a good way,
There you
right?
go.
Back then. Right next to that, some of a little bit more Oregon-centric history here. Spotted owl helper in the 80s, big spotted owl controversy with harvesting some old growth.
Big debate over timber harvesting.
Right.
President Clinton brought his entire cabinet out for a
remember
timber
that.
summit here in Portland. Over how much forest you needed to save for the spotted owl.
Darcel was a big part of Portland's history. The crown there, that's...
Crown belongs to Darcel. About a year before he passed, Walter Cole, Darcel, gave us a lot of items from his wardrobe, including his famous Christmas tree dress, which comes with an extension cord, you know. so
It's awesome. Floods have been a big part of Portland's history as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
There are 3 themes in this exhibit: land, water, and community. And the fact that Portland's at the intersection of the Willamette and Columbia is part of its history. And floods are part of Oregon's history forever.
Before we got to the big pipe that takes all the wastewater to a treatment plant, we talk about some other public works things, and one of them was the water supply to the city of Portland. Through 1953, this was actually done with Douglas fir.
Douglas fir. Portland had wooden water pipes to carry the water. Douglas fir buried underground, which prevented it from rotting quickly. But until the 1950s,
little hole in the middle of the tree trunk to the water flowed through.
Yeah.
Till 1953.
1953.
That's really crazy to look at. A neat thing. And last but not least, Bill Schonely and the Portland Trailblazers
Rip City
have really left, maybe more in the 70s and the 80s, maybe than now, but the letter that's there, tell me a little bit about that.
But the name Rip City in the exhibit, Rivers, Roses, and Rip City, we have the letter that Harry Glickman, essentially the founder of the Blazers, sent to Bill Schonely in 1970 with the official job offer to be the announcer at the princely salary of $25,000 a year.
It's like a lot now, but it was probably in the 1970s.
It translates to about $200,000 now, but he spells Schonely's last name wrong in the letter offer, so go figure. So.
Bill Schonely was such a great part of Portland's history and the Trailblazers' history. Really a great broadcaster. There's those things that we've mentioned and tons of other neat things that we just don't have time to show you everything.
Over 500 objects, artifacts, photographs, and a fun little Portland trivia game to test your knowledge about the Rose City. You were doing well when we played it.
I mean, we're doing easy questions. They have an easy question and a hard question type thing. It's part of the permanent exhibit here at the Oregon Historical Society in downtown Portland. Come on in here and check it out. It goes all the way back to Native American times before 1840 and everything in Portland's more recent modern history.
And a little reminder, we are free every day to Multnomah County residents.
Free every day, Multnomah County residents at the Oregon Historical Society.
It's a great exhit.
Yeah,
it's
that
a great
looks
one.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Just a cool way to learn more about where you live.
Yeah, and the Bill Schonely part of that. He did a lot of hockey play-by-play for the Seattle Thunderbirds, I believe, back in the day before coming down to the Blazers, and obviously forever ingrained in Rip City, which he coined. He coined that phrase.
Well, hey, might be a nice afternoon to go visit and check out some of the exhibits at the Historical Society if you're looking for activities in the air conditioning, right?
Yes,
to get out of the heat.
Definitely a good idea. Today.